class in February, or a week into February. Well, boy. Well, that is it. Time waits on no one. All right, so let me just take my roll and see who is here in the meantime. Thanks for being on time, everybody. All right. Why is this thing not responding? Oh, just did. Okay, so Aliyah said she'd be here shortly, so I'm seeing Amara here. Ariana said she had something to do today, not seeing. I think Cassidy said she would not be here today. All right. Elijah is here. Kaylee is here. Not seeing Jalea or Jonika. Either of the Joshuas. Keisha is here. Carrie Ann is here. Liana is here. McKelly watches the replay, I think, as does Naomi. Sarah is here. Not seeing Shekinah. Tony is here and Vedika is here. Okay, cool. So that's about half the class. All right, lovely. All right, folks. So good morning once again. Hope everybody is well today. All right, so today will be our last day on process costing. I know last week I said something about doing spoilage or something of the sort. And then I was looking through my work from last year and I noticed that I did not do it. And I went to the syllabus as I'm doing here now, and I'm going to go to the section that we are currently in, Unit 2, Module 2. Right, there we are. Of course, I'm going to zoom in on this. I figure, right, so, right, okay. Right, so process costing. This content relates to specific objectives 8 and 9. So compute equivalent units and prepare process costing worksheet using FIFO and weighted average. All right. Oh, here is Jonica. Okay, cool. All right. Hey, Jonica. Good morning. How are you doing? Sorry. All right. Good to have you on. Yeah. So yeah, I just started up the syllabus because I was saying last week I was going to do something with spoilage today. But when I was taking a look through the syllabus last night, the work I was prepping last night based on last year's work, I didn't do it last year, and I thought that was strange. When I came to the syllabus, there's nothing about spoilage here, nature of process costing, conversion costs, equivalent units, process costing, procedures, FIFO and weighted average, process costing, worksheets, excluding transferred in costs and accounting for losses, and evaluation of work in progress, right? And even if you scroll down a bit further, right here, right, process cost. Now this is the extra little added information they give to the syllabus. Engage students in the preparation of process costing worksheets and the computation of equivalent units for direct materials and conversion costs, right? And then what I did, I said, okay, look, let me do a search, right? So I looked for, now I know it's very small here, but so you can't see it. So it says spoilage, and it's searching the entire 200-page document, and there are no occurrences. So show results, number of results, 0, right? So spoilage is not on the syllabus, right? It did come on the 2014 paper. Hold on. Right? Taylor. So it was spoilage or reject rate, that kind of stuff. So I do have solutions for it, and I'm happy to send that to you guys. I actually have a whole worksheet done up with it. When I say worksheet, like an Excel worksheet with like an example, and you have to know how to do weighted average and FIFO with it too. It's not terribly difficult. It just adds, so you know how last week compared to week before, with weighted average in the first week, we just had like in the physical units, they were just initially opening work in progress and units started. And then when you come down, it was completed and ending. So, and then last week you saw opening work in process, units started and completed and then ending. Here, you'll have a normal reject rate and then an abnormal reject rate, which you have to calculate based on some simple arithmetic. All right. But seeing as it's not in the syllabus, I don't want to spend time doing it. Right. There is the other question we have to do is the 2019 question, which was very, in my opinion, strange, and I almost did not know what to do with it. I had to kind of sit down and just kind of clear my brain and think through it, and we'll be doing this one today for sure. All right. But in the lead up to that, we are going to be doing about 4 questions, right? So we're going to aim for about 20 minutes each on these questions, right? So we have 2 with weighted average, 2 with what you call it FIFO, and then in the last, so that's 20, and then in the remainder of the time, we'll take a look at the 2019 question, right? And of course, if anybody has any questions, suggestions, or concerns, please feel free to let me know, right? And I will try to remember to send you guys a replay where I talked about the spoilage and send the examples and stuff, right? In case you want to be prepared for capabilitishness. All right. Now, with that said, right, so we'll take a read through the question and I'll give you guys time, right? And what you guys, what I'll ask you all eventually is if you all want to try the whole question in one go, in which case I'll give you like a 20 minutes and then we'll correct it, or if you want to do it piece by piece, right? So, I mean, there are 4 questions, 2 from each method, and we could do, like the first one in F4, we could do like piece by piece, and then you all could get a whole 20-minute stretch. And then sitting for 5, we could do in 5-4 piece by piece, and then you could try the next question at, in the whole stretch, the whole 20-minute stretch. All right? Either way is fine by me. All right? Now, just so you know, this will be the last day in process costing. The last topic in module 2 is what you might call it, marginal versus absorption costing, which I said I've kind of messed up twice in 2022 and 2024 because I tried to overteach in the first day because I get very excited with it. I really like the topic. So I am going to endeavor not to do that, right? And just take my usual 2 days with it instead of having to reset and spend an extra day on it, all right? Anyhow, enough with the talk. Let's get into it, right? So I know the print is not the best, right? Hey, morning, Sai, how you doing? Right, so Red River Incorporated uses a weighted average process costing system. The following information relates to operations for October. So we have, can I do a 200? I can, okay, cool. Right, so work in process. So we have 10,000 units, 40% complete. The cost is 41,006, made up of materials 18,000 and conversion 23,006. I wonder if I could, right? And then we have work in process at end October 31st. We have 4,000 units, 75% complete. All right, so we have the October manufacturing costs, materials 46,6, conversion 174,4. All right, units started into production. Aha, right. So we have units started into production 24. So we know that we normally start with the work in process at start, which is 10, and we add the units started into production 24. And 10 and 24 will give us 34. And then the work in process at end, normally we have the units completed attached to that. So 4 and 30 will give us 34. So that physical flow of units is kind of done for us there. All right. Now, let's take a look at this paragraph here. It says, all materials are introduced at the start of manufacturing. Conversion cost is incurred uniformly throughout the process. So that, like I said, was one of the basic assumptions for most process costing questions, right? And what that means is that if all materials are introduced at the start of manufacturing, it means that once you start the materials into the process, all of them are added at the start, and therefore, it's 100% complete with respect to materials right at the beginning, all right? So when they say 40% complete and 75% complete, that has to do specifically and only with conversion costs. And the rest of the sentence says conversion cost is incurred uniformly throughout the process. Sorry. It simply means that each stage of the process adds an equal proportion of the conversion cost. So if you have 2 stages in the production process, each stage accounts for 50%. Half in step 1, half in step 2. And if it was 3 steps, it'll be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, or 33 and 1/3% in each step. If it was 4 steps in the process, 1/4 in each, or 25%, etc. Right? Okay, and then, sorry, units pass directly. Oh, sorry. All right. Hey, Elia. Morning. Yeah, I didn't hear the ding. Sorry about that. Good thing I message. How are you? All right. No. I wouldn't forget you. No, I didn't forget you. I was just reading through the questions, so I wasn't watching across it, right? So, all I showed was that the plan was actually to do some spoilage today, normal and abnormal spoilage, but it's not on the syllabus, so I'm not going to spend any time on something that's not on the syllabus, right? But I will send the replays or at least the PDFs showing how to do it. So that way, if you guys think you want to study it in case, you can, right? We just took a read through this question here, which is the first question we're going to. So we have 5 questions planned for today. All right. So 2 of them are weighted average, 2 of them are FIFO, and then we have a 2019 process costing question, which is the last time they brought process costing, and they brought it in a very strange way. So we want to take a look at that for sure. All right. So, right. So units pass directly from Red River's sole production department to the finished goods warehouse. Okay, cool. All right. So, okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to head up Red River Incorporated. production cost report for October. They didn't give a year and doesn't actually matter, right? And we're doing weighted average, all right? See, weighted average. All right, cool. So I'm gonna give you guys a 5 to 7 minutes to do like sections 1 and 2, which is the accounting for the physical units and then the equivalent units. We're gonna correct that. Then I'll give you the next 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'll let you all do the cost section and the cost per equivalent unit. And then in the final 5 to 7 minutes, I'll give you guys some time to do the, cost assignment. And again, you're not under exam conditions. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. It's not a problem. I'm happy to help, especially if it has to do with the visibility of the items on the screen. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a better scan copy of this. When I was scanning this back in the day, I wasn't too wasn't too skilled with the scanning. But I have the actual book, so if need be, I could take a picture of the question. Hopefully it comes out better and brighter. Okay, hold on. Guys, I didn't send the replay from last week. How did I not do that? My apologies. Yeah, guys, if you ever see I do send like a replay or something, let me know. Sure. Right, so we're talking about the first, right? Okay, cool. Nalini, morning. Joanna, morning. Anthony, what's up? Nubbly, what vibes? Okay. Yeah, guys, sorry, I just sent it in the chat. I'll do that one, huh? give you a couple minutes again, and I'll start the section. Now you could go as far as you want, right? And like I said, I sent all 4 questions, and I can send the what you call it, the 2019 question as well if you need it. Okay, working process. So we have 10,000, 40% complete. Right now it's a weighted average, so that's not going to matter. The work in process percentage is the only one that really matters right now. All right, so we have work in process costs at start broken down into direct materials and conversion, sorry. Okay, cool. So let's put that up. Put this down. Oh, right. I need to clear out some stuff to avoid some spoilers. Okay. And then we'll zoom in. Right, red ripple. Okay, let's take a swing. Right. So for the physical, right, units, the beginning working process is 10,000 units. Units started in the current period is, oh, sorry, wrong a bit more. Right, my bad. Right, 24,000. So 10 and 24 is 34. Units completed, now they gave that to us. Total units completed is 30,000. And the ending working process they gave us is 4,000. So we don't have anything to worry about to calculate there with any particular batch of units still in process or completed. They gave us everything outright. For the equivalent units now, we so again, so for the units completed, the percentage complete, of course, is 100% with respect to both materials and conversion, because again, they are completed, they are done, right? The ending working process or working process at end, right, is 100% complete with respect to materials, because that's what they said here. All materials are introduced at the start of manufacturing, which means once the item is started into production, it's automatically 100% complete with respect to materials. But it's 75% complete, which has to be with respect to conversion, right? So what we do is we multiply the 4,000 by the 75%, and you get 3,000 equivalent units for conversion. Okay. All right. So can I just get a quick G in the chat if you guys are good with those, with what's on the screen currently? If you need me to re-explain any particular aspect, give me an R. And if you could let me know specifically what you'd like me to re-explain, that would help me to help you. All right. But of course, you could always just go ahead with the question, proceed with the question, right? So my clock says 10:26 now, so I'll give you till about 10:35 to finish off, right? Or at least you could let me know. I'll check in at 10:35 to see if you're all ready to correctly remain. All right. Okay, no problem. That's fine. Right. And of course, don't forget you can always send me pics of your work as you go along or at the very end of the question. I would like to see how you're doing with it. Right. Oh, let me check. Keep forgetting. Right. AJ Bones, what's going on? Yeah, I still see a timestamp on this. I don't know if it's still there. Hector. Dr. Hector Ramirez. PoA 2. 2 last year. Wow, okay. Keep. More and more keep. All right. Unit 1. Oh, wow. So you have about a minute again, and then I'll start to put up the rest of the stuff from this question, right? I saw a picture coming, but I saw it go out again. So when you're ready, right? Go. Where to go? Right. Oh, use a middle page spread. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Right. Uh-huh. That looks good to me. Good job. Right. So, okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes again to see if you could start off the course assignment, but we have to correct shortly, right? Right. If anybody just want to send pics of their work, I'm very happy to take a look. What is that? I do not know what that is. Yeah, sure. You're going too far. That was Wednesday, wasn't it? Wednesday? Okay. So if you go down a little bit, right, we're going to add in some costs. So the beginning working process had 18,000 for materials and 23,600, right? Oh, what's my phone here? Oh, okay, cool. Right. Nice. And for this one, the current period costs 46,600 and 174,400. Right. So we have 262 to be accounted for. And then for the cost per equivalent unit, you just have to divide these costs by these figures respectively. So we get about a 1.9 and a 6. All right. So I'll pause there for a couple of seconds. If anybody has any questions. No, it's not a problem. You don't have to apologize. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So of course, if anybody has any questions, now is a good time to ask before we just round off with the course assignment and move on to the next question. Oh, wow. Sorry. Okay. I think the stuff below should actually be auto-populated. Yeah, it was. Right. So for the units completed, we had, with respect to materials, right, you'd have 30,000, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, you'd have 30,000 equivalent units of materials completed and 30,000 equivalent units of conversion completed, right? Multiplied by 1.9 for the cost for the cost for the materials, and by 6 for the conversion cost. 180 and 57 will give us 237. Right? For the ending work in process, right, we'll need 4,000 and 3,000 for equivalent units, and the same 1.9 and 6 for the costs. 1.9 by 4 is 7,006. $6 per unit by 3 is 18,000. 18,000 plus 7,006 is 25,006. When we add these two together, we get 262,600. All right, so let me see if I could zoom out a little bit so you could see the majority of it. All right, 1 sec. Right, so what I'm gonna do is, let me get my question first. Yeah, I was supposed to send a question at the start, wasn't I? My apologies. Right, so that's the question, and then that's the solution. Okay, so if you guys are good with the solution to the question, kindly give me a quick G in the chat. If you need me to re-explain anything, give me an R, please and thanks. And if you could tell me specifically what you'd like me to re-explain, that would help me to help you a little faster. One, two, three, four, five. So 5 out of 10. So that's half the class. The next half, how to let me know what's going on so I could help. Right? If it is you're having trouble. I wonder where Josh was going. Oh, okay, cool. Right, Cassidy said she had an archery tournament. And I was trying to make a dad joke, a stale joke about archery and PV, but I thought I might have missed the target, so I didn't bother. Wink.
Yeah, that's slick, sir. Yeah, that's slick.
Yeah. Like olive oil. Right, cool. Anyhow. So let me go. So I think we have the G's there. Okay, and again, if you all want to send me the picture of your completed item, you could feel free to do that. Right, you could send it in the chat if you want. You can send it direct to me. It's not a problem. Okay, so that's that item. I sent a picture in the chat. Let's go on to the next one, right? So this is heritage ski poles. So again, we're doing weighted average, right? So let's take a read. So heritage ski poles uses a weighted average process costing system. All materials are introduced at the start of manufacturing. So we have that there. So 100% complete with respect to materials, and conversion cost is incurred uniformly throughout the production process, right? Units pass directly from the company's sole production department to the finished goods warehouse. Information relating to November. So item 1. So Heritage started 17,000 units into production and completed a total of 14,005. Okay. So out of the 17 that they started, they completed 14,500. So the difference there, the difference is 2,005, which were incomplete. All right. November's manufacturing costs were direct materials 204, conversion 227,610. Okay. Aha. Work in process inventory on November 1st total 3,500. So work in processes as 3,500. So check it. 3,500 plus the 17 will give us 25. And then if we completed 14,500, it means we have 6,000 outstanding, which of course they told us down here in note 4. Right? Ending work in process is 6,000, 80% complete. And we know that that 80% is specific to conversion costs. And then the work in process at start had materials and conversion costs of 42,000 and 32,940 respectively. Okay, so we're going to call start on this question. We're going to say it's approximately 10:45. So I'm going to give you 15 minutes to complete the question, right? And I will send a picture of the question in the chat now. So that way you can kind of check it as you go along. Right, of course, it will stay up and be visible on the screen at all points in time. And of course, you're not under exam conditions. If you have any questions as you go along, please feel free to let me know. All right? And you could always send pics of each section as you go along, and I'm happy to correct and give feedback. Okay? If you see me pop off the screen, I promise I'm not gonna be going long. If I am, I'll tell you. Right? Just that my students during the week seem to think that I am a janitor. Now, I don't mind cleaning, but some of these things are a little ridiculous. I don't mind them ordering food, but then they're gonna leave the boxes on the desks or the tissues on the ground, and it's just a little annoying. I don't know if I'm getting cranky in my old age, but yeah. Oh. All right. And hello, YouTube. Cool. All right, so I hope the person doesn't mind me asking their question. So the question was, in the previous question, should we round off 1.9 to 2? I would usually suggest not rounding off. If you can't give 2 decimal places, give 2 because it's dollars and cents. The more you round off is the greater the difference is going to be between these 2 figures. And you want the difference to be as small as possible. All right, so I would say 1.9 as opposed to 2. If you do put 2 and you get a difference between the cost to be accounted for the figure on top and the cost accounted for the figure below, you need to state the difference is due to rounding. All right, so yeah, that's my take on the situation. Don't round off too early or too much. I do. Right. Oh, that's what. Okay. Okay. So I am just going to pop upstairs to get a bottle of water and come back. So I feel like I need to be a bit more hydrated. I shall return momentarily. Yeah, guys, sorry, I did not intend to take that long. Oh, we still have some time. Okay, cool. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? Yeah, we have a house guest gonna be staying with us for a little while, so they set up a room. And the gentleman says he does protein shakes, so mom had to resurrect the blender. And they did some remodeling recently, so of course the blender was not easily found. So she catch me in the kitchen like, you can reach under here for me? So yeah, 4 cupboards later, the blender, the base for the blender is in the furthest corner of a cupboard, furthest lowest corner in a cupboard that makes the least sense for it to be there. Like it's furthest away from everything. Yeah, so anyhow, you guys got a good chance to try the question. So I'll give you a few minutes again. So heritage, ski poles, right? YouTube also keeps pulling on my content from 2020, telling me I'm in violation of community guidelines about cyberbullying, disclosing people's information online. Like, what are you talking about? First time was in December, and December 1 this morning too. So I don't know. Next time they pull on everything. And it's from some classes, eh? And the early part of the class where they're just telling people hello. I'm like, what are you talking about, YouTube? I feel they're using AI, and the AI getting it wrong. So when I contested it, it didn't change. All right, so quick question, right? Give me an S if you want me to start correcting, or give me a W if you want me to wait the next 5 minutes. All right? So S if you want me to start correcting, and W if you want me to wait 5 minutes. Either way, I'm fine, right? Because we still have time. We have the 254 questions to do, and then the 2019 question. All right, so I'll give you a 5 again, no problem. Yeah, I know how cumbersome it could be to write out these statements. I've written out quite a few in my time. And if I could never have to write it out again and just use the computer, that'd be great. And then when you could, I don't want to say program it, but when you could set it up in a way like an Excel where you fill in just a couple of pieces of information and everything else auto-populates. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Sorry. Hey, look me. Right. Oh, thanks. Whoa. Just so? Right, it should be back up. Okay. I know I saw a picture coming, but let me just get my stuff started first, right? Put it on top. Heritage. Clear out some things fast. Right, and clear out these as well. Okay, cool. So we had about 160. 160 is good. Okay. Oh, all right. 1 second. Let's see. Couldn't download image. Why? All right. Okay, looking good. Next one. Could you open? Thanks. All right, not finished yet. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So here what I'll do. I'm gonna do just what's on the screen and just the costs, and I'll give you some time to do the cost assignment. Right. So we'll figure it out. That's not a problem. So beginning working process had how many units? 3,500, right? So 3,500. Cool. Units started as the 17,000 as up here, right? So we have to account for 20,500. Now we know we finished 14,500, and they tell us down here that we have 6,000 units still in progress, right? So for the units completed in the period, for the equivalent units, of course, they're both 100% complete. So 100% of 14,500 in both cases is 14,500. For the ending working process, right, which is 6,000 physical units, it's 80% complete with respect to conversion. But of course, as we know, 100% complete with respect to materials. All right. Now, let's take a look at some of the cost information. Right. So the beginning working process brought in 204,000 in materials, 227 in conversion. So 204, and then 227, 610. Right. And then here now, for the current period cost is 42 and then 32. No, sorry, I mixed that up. It's 42,000 here, right? 32,940 here. And then down here is the 204, and then, sorry, my bad. Yeah, 227, 610. And then the cost per equivalent unit is 1250, and then, and then, yeah, right. So there's nothing to put here, it's just here. Okay, so that's what we have so far. So now I'll give you a couple minutes again to do the cost assignment, and then I'll just take a glance at the time to see what we're doing.
Chris.
Yeah.
Direct material news is 204, not 205 in the class.
Okay. So what happens is Excel does the rounding for me. All right, let me see what I have here. Yeah, so it does the rounding, right? So between 1204 and 1205 is that's like 1 cent. So it's not going to make too much of a difference. So work out yours, I'll work out mine, and we'll see how much it differs by.
Manufacturing costs were direct material news 204, 204,000.
Oh, I have 205. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow, thank you. I didn't see that, no? Wait. Yeah, see? Big. 204, and I had 205. Thank you, Keisha. Oh.
I know we have something to tell you. I went back over.
Uh-huh.
I think it was the repeated distribution method.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and one question said 240,000 where they only had 24,000. So you got that.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you remember the name or the year, you can send it to me now and I'll go and check.
Right.
I'm gonna check a little snappy snap here. Right. 3, 5, 17, 20, and 14, 5, and 6, right? And we have 14, 5, 14, 5, 6, and 4,000, 8, 25, 19, right? 32, 9, 40, 42, 74, 9, 40, 431, 610, 204, 227, 610. Right, 246, 260. All right, 12, 13. All right, good. Okay. And a tie back. What? All right. I like in this. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna just maximize your screen so we can see the rest of the stuff. Right, so like I said, it usually is auto-populated when I put in the rest of the stuff on top of here. Right, so sorry, 1 second. Right, so for the units completed, we know it's 14,005 with respect to materials and conversion, and the equivalent units are 12 and, sorry, the cost per equivalent units are 12 and 1350, sorry, respectively. Multiplying 12 by 14.5 gives us 174. 13.5 by 5,000 gives us 195,750. Adding those two gives us 369,750. For the ending work in process, we have 6,000 units, sorry, equivalent units for materials and 48 with respect to conversion. You're only 49 to 50 and get something wrong. Okay, I'll take a look. Don't worry, it shouldn't be so far off. I'll check it just now. Right. So 12 by 6 is 72, 1350 by 48, 64.8. You add going across, you get 136.8, and you get 506,550. Right now, like I was telling, I mentioned before and I mentioned again, when I use Excel, it rounds off to 15 decimal places, which is like a quadrillionth. So it's very, very accurate, and I even actually cut off most of those digits by rounding to 2. All right, which is what you all would do as well. But I think it uses the exact values going forward. So if you all are a bit off in either of these, right, it's not a problem. Once it's not like spectacularly off, like a few thousand or tens of thousands, if it's like a couple hundred, a few hundred, even 1,000, right, that's not a big deal. All right, let me see. Nah, you're good. You're good. They are the same figures I have. What are you talking about? Let me see. Not finished. Okay. But you have the same figures I have. Oh, okay. Where? 174, 195, 750, 72, 64. Okay. 12 and 1350. Okay, and I don't know how to say that. $530. Oh no, you put in this figure on. It's 940. You have 920. It's not wrong enough. Don't worry, it happened to me just now too, so no trouble. Alright. Can I get a G in the chat if you guys are good with this solution? Or an R if you need me to re-explain anything? Okay, cool. All right, lovely. Okay, so folks, we have a couple. Actually, I wanted to send a picture of that in the chat real quick. So just give me 1 sec. I'm gonna organize that, and then we'll go on to the next couple of questions. Well, the next question we can't do 2 at the same time. There's not Marshall. We can we can't 1, 2 questions. We can do 1 question, but we still want 2. I wonder if anybody remixed it with doubles yet, boy. I could only need 1 doubles, but I still want 2. I sure some food had to stuff 2 doubles in them all at the same time. For kicks. All right. Okay, cool. So with that, now let's go on to the next question. Right. So we are in FIFO. So please note it says Tallahassee, right? Tallahassee company uses a FIFO process costing system. So we know that the work in process at start is kept separate from the unit started and completed. All right. So you have to make sure to, and of course, the costs that come forward with the work in process at start are assigned directly to it and those costs don't make it into the costs per equivalent unit. All right, okay. So work in process, right? So 3,600 is 1/3 complete. Didn't we do a 1/3 already then? I'm not sure. Hold on, I'm gonna check real quick. I feel like we did. I feel like I remember 1/3 from last week. 5-4.
We did that last week.
Last week. Okay. All right. Well, I wouldn't put you through it again, especially since we are a little. I don't want to say crunch for time, but we are a little bit. Yeah, look at our last year right here. It was Venice I couldn't find. But that's the next question. Okay, yeah. I know the one to look familiar. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bypass the question and go straight. Oh, I'm not Venice. So how I couldn't find Venice last week? All right. Okay, guys. So here we're gonna do. We're gonna do this question, and then we are going to switch up things and go to the 2019 process costing question, which is product 427, which is a weird question, as you will see. All right. So straightforward process costing. Venice Company uses a FIFO process costing system to accumulate production costs. The following information pertains to July. Right, number of units started, 12. Number completed, 9. Ending work in process, 5,000 units, 40% complete. Beginning work in process, 2,000 units, 25% complete with costs of 8,600 attached. Costs incurred in July, direct materials 38,400, conversion costs 47,250. All materials are introduced at the start of the process and conversion costs are incurred uniformly throughout manufacturing. Right? Completed units pass directly from the manufacturing plant to finished goods. Prepare production cost report. Okay, so I'm going to send a picture in the chat. Well, I don't know how I was lose you all now. Yeah, my WhatsApp finally updated, so now I could just go to groups. And before I used to be typing in the search bar like the name for the group, and if I put the whole name, it would give me like it wouldn't give me the group, it would give me all the students instead. I'd delete one letter and then I could get the group, and then the Cape groups worse yet. And I've a different naming convention for next term, yes? Okay, so please start, all right? All right, so Venice Company. All right, so the beginning working process is 2. We started 12, so 2 and 12 is 14. And I know 9 and 5 is 14, but you had to split up this 9, right? Because in that 9, you'll have your 2,000 for units at start, right? So you're going to split this 9 into a 2,000 and a 7,000. Right? 2 and 7, of course, is 9, and then plus the 5 will tie back to the 14. What's this guy saying? I'm just gonna send a message back to this gentleman here real quick. But a voice note. So Devendra. Guys, sorry. Yeah. There's somebody asking for tips on teaching practice. So like, I think like I don't have a teaching degree, but I kind of learned as I went on, and I had very very good teachers who were great models from whom I learned. You know, and I just kind of modified as I went along in my own style. So, but from the YouTube videos, people like to ask for advice on that kind of stuff. So I just try to help where I can. All right, so I'm gonna give you a few minutes again for this one, a little more than 5. We're gonna correct this one, and then we're gonna take a look at that 2019 question. Yeah, every time I look at it, it just seems stranger. It's a weird one. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks very much. Oh, So I'm going to do the first part, and then if you need more time, we'll organize that for you as well. 5, Tallahassee, right? Okay, cool. Right. So let's go with this one, right? So we had the beginning working process, 2,000 units, and we started 12, right? So 2 and 12, of course, would give us 14. So when you come down here for the breakdown, the working process at start stays the same. Working process at end, they told us outright here is 5,000 units. So we're going to put that there. And units started and completed, right? So we need 14. So 2 and 5 is 7. So this had to be 7, right? So 2, 7, and 5, right? Now, for the working process at start, it came in 25% complete, right? Which means there's 75% more work to be done in it. And that's only for conversion because, again, all of the materials costs are added at the start of the process. So that was done in the last period, so we don't need any of that to be done now, right? But the remainder of the work on the conversion has to be done. For units started and completed, well, we know that's 100% complete in both respects, materials and conversion. For the working process at end, again, 100% complete with respect to materials, but 40% complete with respect to conversion, right? So, right. Burr? One sec, sorry. Ew. Okay. Don't know how that happened. Right. Yeah. So 7 and 5 is 12. It's 9, 8, 5, and 10, 5. Okay, cool. When we come down to the costs now, right? So the working process at start, the costs aren't part of this calculation. We do have to account for them, and they will be allocated specifically and exclusively to the working process at start. Right? But the current period's cost, we have 38,004 for direct materials and 47,250 for conversion, right? And then we'll take those costs, right? 38,400 and 47,250 and divide by the equivalent units and get the cost per equivalent unit. Oh, dogs outside howling because of some siren. Okay, so I'll leave that up for you all to use if you need it. All right, so now, of course, I'll give you 5 minutes again to organize the cost assignment. If, of course, you need more time, that's not a problem. Let me know. All right, but we had to spend at least 15 minutes on the last thing, if not 20. All right. ready? All right, so like I said, it kind of auto-populates. So this is what we have. So the work in process at start. All right, so I have it across here, but it shouldn't be there. It should really be on top of here. So let me put it 8600. Right. Yeah. So. Nope. Okay. Right. So for the 1500 equivalent units of conversion by 4 and 50 cents, you get 67.50. Right. We add that to the 8600 from before. Right. We get 15,350. For the units started and completed, we have 7,000 units of materials and conversion. All right, so you have 320 per equivalent unit of materials and 450 per equivalent unit of conversion, giving us 22.4 and 31.5 respectively, totaling to 53.9. And then for work in process at end, we have 3.2 by 5 giving us 16, 4.5 by 2 giving us 9. 9 and 16 is 25. We add these three together and it ties back to the cost to be accounted for. All right, so I'll send a picture of that in the chat too. All right, so ladies and gents, if you guys are good with that, just kindly give me a quick G in the chat. If you need me to re-explain anything, that's not a problem, but let me know. Sorry. All right, out of 8, okay. Let me know. Sorry. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, folks. So we want to take a look at that final question, which is the year 2019. So I'm actually just going to copy it real quick. Hold on. Right. We're going to take out this stuff. Right. Put that down. So let me pull up the question. We're going to take a read through and see what looks, and see what we have, right? So let me start in the chat. Because I'll be real straight with you. The first time I saw this question, I didn't even bother to do it. I was like, yeah, no, I good. I'm not sure what they want there. And I've never seen a question brought like this. I mean, it's not to say that I scour every single textbook, every single syllabus, and past people of other syllabuses to try and find all the possible ones they could possibly bring. No, I don't do that, right? Because at this level, they're supposed to come a particular way. And I mean, as we know, they don't necessarily do that. And as accountants, we're supposed to be prudent, which means we have to be cautious in the face of uncertainty, but we cannot cater for every eventuality. We cannot, all right? But we can try to cater for the ones that might come. Anyhow, so product 427 passes through 2 departments. Starts off simple enough. Again, just by the way, this is the 2019 CAPE Unit 2 question 2 part D, process cost, right? At the beginning of the last quarter, the costs assigned to the work in process, costs assigned were materials 256,000 and conversion 196.46,000. Okay, it seems pretty good so far. The following equivalent unit schedule was prepared for the first department for the last quarter when 350,000 units were completed. So the equivalent unit schedule. So to me, an equivalent unit schedule kind of talks, it kind of is reminiscent of what we do here, right? We multiply the units by the percentage complete, all right? But I want you to take a look at this table. So it says units of work in progress, right? So work in progress by fraction complete. So this here, so they completed 350,000, okay? Just by the way, if you read the rest of the question, it says weighted average, all right? So we know we don't have to worry about opening work in progress and that kind of stuff. as in being separate in that particular equivalent unit section. So the units in work in process and the fraction complete. So we have materials, we have 60,000 by 80%, and then we have conversion, 40,000 by 60%. So that was the part that kind of tripped me up initially. I'm like, I've never seen a question with process costing where the work in process at end for the physical units, you had two different quantities. I don't know how it's possible. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying just based on the kind of flow, it seems strange. So why is there a difference, right? And then even if you thought, okay, maybe one of these numbers is off, when you multiply by the percentages, 60,000 by 80% is 48,000. 40,000 by 60% is 24,000. And then the actual manufacturing costs incurred are materials, almost 600,000, conversion 286. Okay. So you're like, all right, I have my costs. I know it's weighted average, so I know how the cost section is supposed to look. I'm supposed to put both sets of costs for work in process at start and the current period, add them up and add them down to account. And then both of those sets of costs will form the numerator in each of the equivalent unit cost calculation, equivalent cost per equivalent unit calculation. Sorry. But what is this? I mean, this doesn't look like our usual thing. All right. Now they want using the weighted average. They want the unit cost for the quarter. So I'm assuming they mean the cost per equivalent unit for the quarter for materials and for conversion. And then the cost of goods transferred, right? The cost of goods transferred is your units completed. And then the cost of the ending work in process. I don't know why they had one and then two bullet points and then a second, but just do all bullet points. Or just ask for the production cost report, right? Because I don't know if like they expected you to do it like a math sum, that kind of thing, you know. So I'm just gonna kind of walk through what I did, but in terms of the equivalent units. But I'll give you a chance to try the cost assignment part of it, right? So I'm going to put that on top. Go in here. So first things first, right? So Cape Accounting Unit 2, 2019 question, 2 part D, sorry. Right, the production cost report, weighted average for the month. Who knows? It's July? No, it was the quarter, for the quarter. Sorry. We don't know. Okay. We have no information to fill in the first section. We don't know what beginning work in process was. We just know 350,000 were completed. That's what we know. Sorry, give me a second. Something about the formatting, not All right, okay. I was like a little space between the last digits and the grid line. Yeah, so we have no information to fill out the top thing here. Right? We don't know what the work in process at start was. We just know, right? And that's the thing. At the beginning of the last quarter, the costs assigned to work in process were this and this. But they don't give us the quantity. They don't give us the number of units in work in process at start. So we don't have that, right? Technically, we don't need it because it's weighted average. We would only need it for on top of here, but not down here, right? So what I did here was as follows, right? So, I mean, we know we have 100% here. Sorry. So we'll multiply this by 100. And we know that we have 100% here. Come on, man, Philip. Sorry. So we know we multiply this by that. Right, and then for the ending work in process, right, we can't put a figure here because they're two different ones. And you can put it in like in separate lines, I suppose, but I'm not going to, right? So I'm just going to put the 48,000 here and the 24,000 here, right? Right. So with that now, I want you guys to try and finish off the rest. So you could copy that piece down. So again, we have no information to fill in here. Right. So what I want you guys to do is to do this section for me, right? Go from here to the cost per equivalent unit. All right, so you have your equivalent units here. You can fill in your cost information. Right now, again, they ask for certain things, but there's no one right format to use or one right layout. You can do whatever you want and then give them the answer. Right, once you show you're working and give them the answer. All right, so I'll give you 5 minutes to set up the stuff there, and then I'll just kind of walk you through. Yeah, questions, sorry.
Chris, they say that materials were 80% completed.
Mm-hmm.
That and they were in course. So that means 20% wasn't completed. So we won't put that under the unit find that part.
For what for conversion?
Under the units part, you know where we got on the units, we got 35 units completed in the period.
Right.
So we don't have no ending work in process.
Right. So we do. We do, right? But you see they give us 2 different quantities here. They give us a 60 for materials and a 40 for conversion. Right? And I don't know how that makes sense, because how could you have so okay. So let's say this batch of 60,000 is 80% complete with respect to materials, right? What percent complete is that batch with respect to conversion? They didn't say. And then this batch with conversion is 40,000 units, 60% complete with respect to conversion. Okay, 40,000 by 60 is 24. But this batch of 40,000, what percent complete is it with respect to materials? Because they also didn't give us the kind of usual sentence where they say all materials are added at the start of the process, but conversion costs are incurred uniformly throughout the production process. They didn't say that, right? So what I'm saying is that the information provided in question was very strange and unusual with specific reference to this piece here, where what seems to be, and it says the units in work in process at end, right? And they split it up into 2 batches. So is it that it's one batch of 100, or is it that there are 2 separate batches? And if there are 2 separate batches, how come we only have the percentage complete for materials with one batch and the percent complete for conversion with the other batch? Something about that, it's very strange. So this is just my take on it. I mean, if you could figure something else out, we could consider it. But
If it was doing that thing, I would have looked for the word under the units. It would have been a bigger figure, which then I would have found 80%, which it would be, if it was 80% of that, it would have come to the 48.
right.
That's how I would have done it.
Yeah, so 48, yeah. Sorry, I have a wrong figure here. I have 24. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. So the 48, I mean, you could pull it down, but then what was the basis for that? Because they were specific about the 2 different values here for the physical units, 60,000 in this line, 40,000 in this line. So, I mean, something about it not making sense. But my teacher's supposed to come in a few minutes, so I'll ask him to. The funny part is he prefers to teach Unit 1 as opposed to Unit 2, and specifically because of process costing. So this might be the best question to ask him about. But I could put out some feelers on in my WhatsApp teachers chat there. Yeah. But yeah, I hear you. We could talk about it, but I want any time to, because I want to make sure I finish on time-ish. All right, so beginning of the last quarter. All right, so we have the 256 here, and you have 196, 460 here, and the current period's costs. Yeah, and on top of that, you had to round off here for sure. let's just maximize here. All right, so all we could do is take these figures, the 350s, and multiply by the 2.15 and 1.29. Sorry, 1 second. All right, so 2.15 by 350 is 752.5, 1.29 by 350 is 451. You add going across, and then for the, well, the ending working process for the sorry, 48 and 24, 215 by that, 1.29 by that. Again, some rounding differences would occur. Sorry, Okay, budgeting is actually going to be, okay, so hold on, the next 2 weeks, so today is the what? 8th, so the 15th and 22nd will be absorption costing. The week after is Carnival Saturday, so you all have to let me know if you all having lessons on that day. I will be here, right? We could have class, I'm perfectly fine. We could try and knock off CVP and I'll break even on that day, and then right after that, budgets is next. So early March. If you need to see anything before that, let me know. I can send you replays from previous years. Okay, yeah. So, ladies and gents, that's about it for this question. That's what I came up with, right? Now, if you guys did this question in school, your teacher had a different approach, I'm quite interested to see what they may have done, but more interested in why they would have done it that way, right? Anyhow, yeah, so that's it basically for process costing. Again, there was a question in 2014, where did it go? Here, where they brought in abnormal spoilage, right? But like we said, we looked on the syllabus and it's not there currently. I don't even think it was on that syllabus, right? So, and that's why I didn't work to teach it today. Right? I just did some more work in the regular stuff to give some more practice and show that weird 2019 question. And yeah, process question hasn't come in a while, so you never know, it might come in your year, so just be prepared. All right, anyhow. So that's about it for today, right? So of course, if anybody has any questions they didn't get to ask during class, please send me a WhatsApp, it's not a problem. Or if you have any other questions from like stuff from accounting in school or when you're doing past papers, hey, sir, there's something looking wrong here, or is this correct? Let me know, right? I had to set some time aside to compile my Unit 2 solutions into like year by year. I won't have it topic by topic. All right. Anyway, guys, that's about it for today. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you all next week. Bye. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Chris.
All right. Bye, Keisha.